This couple had everything: a beautiful home, stable jobs, and love that never faded. But there was one thing they couldn't have: a child. After years of trying and countless doctor visits, they were told the truth. It's impossible. You can't conceive. Heartbroken, they turned to adoption. But every time they visited an orphanage, the same thing happened. All the perfect children were already chosen. Until one day, they saw her. A little girl, dirty clothes, no smile, just sitting in the corner like the world had forgotten she existed. One of the workers leaned in and whispered, "That one's different. She doesn't talk. No one ever picks her." But the woman walked up to her anyway and gently touched her hand. And for the first time in years, the little girl smiled. That moment changed everything. They adopted her, gave her love, gave her a name. And for the first time, they felt like a real family. Years passed. The little girl grew more into a strong, bright, joyful soul. But one day, tragedy struck. The mother was diagnosed with a rare disease. She needed a bone marrow transplant. And the only match? The same little girl no one wanted. She saved her mother's life. And today they say love is what saved them all. But the truth, the child no one wanted was the angel they always needed. Like and follow for more.
A millionaire stepped onto his private jet, 3 women beside him, champagne overflowing, laughter filling the cabin. He had everything money could buy, but this flight would be his last taste of luxury. Mid-air, the engine exploded. The plane spun and plunged into the open ocean. Screams vanished into water. Metal shattered, silence followed. Everyone perished, except him. Against all odds, Ricardo lived. He washed up on a deserted island, broken, burned, and utterly alone. Hunger clawed at him, madness whispered. Days turned to nights as he taught himself to catch fish, spark fire from stone, and survive with trembling hands. Each night he stared at the sky, his voice cracking into the wind. "God, can you still hear me?" He saw the truth now. How he had ruined his marriage, abandoned his family, and traded love for pleasure. He had lost everything that ever mattered. Then one night, as he slept, flames tore through his shelter. Fire consumed his roof, his food. His strength, Ricardo collapsed into the sand and screamed toward the heavens. "Forgive me, Lord. I chased empty thrills and found emptiness. I destroyed what you gave me. If you grant me another chance, I will spend my life rebuilding what I shattered." Exhausted, he wept himself to sleep. At sunrise, a sound cut through the stillness. Whomp, whomp, whomp. A helicopter slicing through the sky. He ran toward it, arms raised, tears streaming. They landed. Hands pulled him up, wrapped him in blankets. Through sobs, he asked, "How did you find me?" One rescuer smiled gently. "We saw the massive smoke column last night. We thought it was a distress signal." Ricardo fell to his knees. The fire he thought had ended him, had saved him. Sometimes what feels like destruction is divine rescue. Sometimes when your world burns down, it isn't the end. It's God making space for your redemption. Mateo was a simple man, living with an intellectual disability, but with a heart bigger than the world itself. He lived with his 6-year-old daughter, Sofia, in a small village where everyone knew them. The two were inseparable, bound by a love so pure it softened even the hardest hearts around them. One tragic afternoon, the daughter of a powerful military officer suffered a fatal accident in the town square. Mateo tried with all his strength to save her, but it wasn't enough. Grief quickly turned to anger, and he was accused of murder. Without a fair trial, Mateo was thrown into prison and placed in cell number 7, among the most dangerous criminals. At first, the inmates hated him, but something about his gentle spirit felt different, untouchable by evil. One night, when the gang leader suffered a seizure, Mateo rushed to help him, saving his life. From that moment, everything changed. The criminals realized this broken man was innocent and purer than any of them had ever been. But Mateo's only wish was to see his daughter again. Night after night, his cries echoed through the cell. "Sofia, my baby." His cellmates, moved by a love they had never truly known, risked everything. In secret, they smuggled little Sofia into the prison. When father and daughter embraced, the walls disappeared. The chains melted away. In that moment, there was no prison, only love. But reality returned too quickly. Mateo was sentenced to death. On the night of the execution, Karim, a hardened prisoner who had abandoned his own daughter years ago, made a choice. Consumed by guilt and seeing Mateo's pure devotion, he decided to pay the price of redemption. With the help of the inmates and a sympathetic prison director who believed in Mateo's innocence, the two men were switched. Karim walked toward death. Mateo escaped with Sofia by boat, disappearing into a future they had only dreamed of. Years passed. Sofia grew up to become one of the youngest lawyers in her country. On her graduation day, she held Karim's old lighter and said through tears, "Today, I stand here because a stranger chose to die so my father could live. I will dedicate my life to defending the innocent and giving hope to the forgotten. Because sometimes the greatest miracles are born in the darkest places, and the love of a father can soften even the most hardened souls." If this story touched your heart, comment, "Love conquers all."
A speeding bus slammed into a woman pulling a cart full of cans. The impact threw her to the ground. Bruised, shaking, barely able to stand, people ran to help. "Madam, you need a hospital." But she held the cart tightly and whispered through the pain, "I can't. I'm in a hurry. If I don't sell these today, my children won't eat." Dragging her injured leg, she gathered the scattered cans one by one and continued walking. By the time she reached the recycling center, her hands were trembling. "Please, weigh them," she said. The worker placed the cans on the scale, less than 5 kilos. "That can't be right," a man beside him said. "It's correct," the worker replied. "Next time, bring more." Tears gathered in her eyes. "My husband is sick. I have 7 children waiting at home. This is everything I could gather today." The worker looked away, uncomfortable. But a man standing nearby stepped forward. "I can recalibrate the scale for free. Do you have a piece of paper?" "Yes," she whispered. "Then write your weight here." "Put it on the scale. Whatever it shows, I'll pay you." Her hands shook as she wrote on the paper and placed it on the scale. The numbers moved. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. The man picked up the paper. It wasn't her weight. It was a prayer. "Dear God, you know my needs. I leave everything in your hands." His eyes softened. Without another word, he paid her the full amount. She left quietly, limping away with her cart. He stood frozen, staring at the prayer in his hand. Only God knows the true weight of a prayer. We share jokes and gossip every day. But would you dare to share faith too? Jesus said, "If you are ashamed of me before men, I will be ashamed of you before my Father."